Liverpool are top of the Champions League table. They smashed by Leverkusen 4-0 at Anfield. It was a classic performance from Arne Slot, who now sees his side top of the Premier League, the Champions League, looking very, very strong. And every week, when we talk about Liverpool in the media, we look at a side that seems to be kicking into gear after gear after gear. People talk about they're maybe 1 or 2 injuries away from falling off. But you can't say that until you see actually something change with this Liverpool side, who seem to be improving week in, week out. They are showing levels of intensity that is very, very impressive, because let's be completely real, Bayer Leverkusen held them to a distance for a good 45 minutes of the game. But Liverpool have this level of intensity that I don't think any other side in European football has right now. You look at Real Madrid, lost to AC Milan. Obviously, it's early, and you can imagine Real Madrid still winning the Champions League. It's not like they're out of the Champions League with the new format. But you look at the way Real Madrid are right now, it's going to take a lot for Ancelotti to correct that, even if he's still manager. You look at Man City, obviously I talked about it on the channel yesterday. Very, very flat, very, very low energy and intensity, and you can't buy desire. You can't. It's very hard to coach. You feel like there's a nucleus of Liverpool players that are all arriving at a very similar level. They've all got something to prove. Someone like Luis Diaz, we're going to talk about him in depth in this video, is arriving, and I think he's got something to say. I think he wants to show the world that he's the best left winger on the planet, and I think there's a genuine argument that he is. Same with Curtis Jones, same with a few other players. Even Kelleher in goal was absolutely fantastic. This Liverpool side have got this very big mix of world-class talent / players that are on the precipice of being world-class, that have got something to prove to a level that I don't think even Arsenal haven't won anything in 20 years, really, a major title in 20 years. They haven't even got that kind of desire, in my opinion. I think Liverpool are just a cut above. They're top of the table, and they look unbeatable. I don't know how you beat them. They got Aston Villa on the weekend, and I think they'll smash them as well. Let's just talk about all the goals. If you've made it this far, obviously make sure you subscribe to the channel. And tomorrow I'll do like a roundup of all the other Champions League fixtures. I'm enjoying talking about the Champions League. I think this match round was actually quite good. Obviously the Lisbon result was fantastic. The Milan result was fantastic. Actually, maybe to some of the naysayers about the format of the Champions League, maybe they're wrong. Who knows? Liverpool, yeah, as I said, started the game very, very slowly. And then they burst into life in the 60th minute. Curtis Jones gets on the ball and plays this beautiful little ball between the two centre-backs of Leverkusen. And it's a beautiful finish from Diaz. You talk about that kind of South American flair that we never quite see with Diaz. We've always applied these words, kind of work ethic to him, kind of desire, speed, athleticism. But actually the little touches, the little flicks, the little nutmegs, the little chips, it was very Falcao-esque, dare I say, obviously from the same country, and the finish was just unbelievable. You have to shout out Curtis Jones, who doesn't get the credit he deserves for being a ball-playing midfielder. I think he gets talked about again as being industrious, as hard-working, and he is all of those things, but he's actually very, very good on the ball. And on the half turn, you had 3 midfielders for Liverpool against Leverkusen that could all pick up the ball at any angle, turn, drive, and play the ball first time or second time through the lines. Very, very quick, very, very intense. And I've been saying that wherever I've been talking about Liverpool, very Jurgen Klopp-esque as well, but with that little kind of Arne Slot Dutch vibe going on as well. So very, very impressive ball from Curtis Jones into the feet of Diaz. It's a great chip. It's a beautiful finish. And you feel at that point Leverkusen haven't really got much in the locker. It's a shame. You want to kind of see the Leverkusen side that did so well in the league last season. Obviously, they're currently 4th in Bundesliga. You wanted to see them play Liverpool last season with that kind of form. That would have been a real match, and you feel that they've dropped off a little bit. Obviously, it's hard to replicate form, particularly with the Bayern Munich strengthening in the summer, getting a new manager. It's not going to be the same Bayer Leverkusen side, but there was a massive gulf in quality today, and you do feel that maybe it would have been nice to see the Bayer Leverkusen side from last season maybe rock up to Anfield last night, because they're very different sides, very, very flat. They've drawn 4 out of the last 6 games, and it's not the same Leverkusen side, no question about it, despite actually looking very, very similar. I think their confidence and I think their legs, I think even the tactics have been found out a little bit. Liverpool were able to just play through. They had the extra man in defence. They played the back 5 or the 3, and you feel that Liverpool just loved that in midfield, having the extra man all the time. Despite the fact that actually possession was 50-50, Liverpool, what they were able to do on the ball was a lot sharper, a lot more direct than Leverkusen. I think they struggled a little bit. Obviously, Cody Gakpo gets a goal. It's a great header. It's a great ball from Mohamed Salah. Incorrectly ruled for offside. I don't know what the point of a linesman is anymore. It should just be automatic. Cameras that go up and down the line like in 100-meter sprints in the Olympics. In my opinion, these linesmen are idiots, and European refs are shocking. You shouldn't a perfectly good goal shouldn't be questioned to that level where fans have to celebrate twice and think about celebrating. I think it's absolutely embarrassing. Great header from Gakpo, and by then it doesn't even matter. I think the game's over, to be honest with you. But Luis Diaz gets a couple of extra goals, little finishes, a rebound off of a Nunes chance, and another one as well to make a hat trick. I think we have to start talking about Luis Diaz being in the same category as Vinicius Jr. He's not above Vinicius Jr. right now, definitely not. And Mbappe really isn't considered a left winger in the same way. Doku, I think he's miles above someone like Jeremy Doku. I'm thinking of Martinelli at Arsenal. There aren't that many left wingers. You're struggling, aren't you? Serge Gnabry, Sane. You're struggling really to think of a left winger. I think he's the second best left winger in world football, Luis Diaz. Again, his pace, his power, his finishing. He's a very cute finisher. We saw the final 2 goals. He's a reflex finisher. He's great at kind of little short bursts of pace and getting away from people. Absolutely electric. And people talk about what Liverpool will look like when Mohamed Salah leaves, maybe to Saudi Arabia, maybe retires, who knows. It will be Luis Diaz, and then they'll have to get an understudy on the other side. It won't just be a new right winger that kind of takes over. It'll be a left winger. Everything's going to go through Luis Diaz. And actually, it's very interesting. He was kind of occupying space in the middle of the park, a bit like what Sadio Mane did in his final couple of years at Liverpool, linking up play with Salah. So at points, you had this kind of Diaz and Salah running at you from the similar side of the pitch, with giving Gakpo a little bit of space, and Darwin Núñez when he came on as well. So the flexibility of the front three is very exciting for Liverpool and dangerous. It's a killer front three. It's the best front three in world football. It's better than City's at the moment, no question. Arsenal's really Trossard, Havertz, great. This Liverpool side, very, very intense, very, very dangerous. They really are explosive. And the way they crushed Leverkusen was very, very, very impressive, to be honest with you. I have to talk about Curtis Jones again. I think Curtis Jones has to be starting these big games. Obviously, City come up in a few weeks. I think Curtis Jones has to be starting over Dominic Szoboszlai. I think Dominic Szoboszlai looks too similar to McAllister, too similar to Gravenberch. Curtis Jones has that quality of Szoboszlai on the ball, in my opinion. Maybe not set pieces, or maybe not the long 50-yard passes that Szoboszlai clearly has in his locker, or even the long-range goals in the same way. But Curtis Jones brings that kind of Jordan Henderson work rate, positional awareness, defensive security. Plus, he's got that great half turn. And dare I say it, I think there's just an element of him being a local lad as well. I think having a couple in there will always resonate with Liverpool fans. I think he's just at a higher level than Dominic Szoboszlai this season. Obviously, rotated for the Brighton game, but I think he has to be starting all these big games now. And the big question will be Arne Slot's rotation policy throughout this kind of crunch period of the season. Will he try and stretch it and try and go for some crazy, big push in the Champions League and the Premier League? He might have to drop down a little bit and bring on the likes of Connor Bradley, Quansah, whoever the second choice left back is, which actually might be Andy Robertson at this point. He might have to make some changes like that. Not now, because I think they're all fresh, they're all winning games, they all want to play football. But there's going to be some changes needed. Even the likes of Chiesa, who's barely getting a game, as I talked about. Darwin Núñez can come in. He's going to have to make his decisions for certain Premier League games, December, January, February time, and of course the Champions League games where you can be a little bit lighter if you've qualified through the league as well. But at the moment, I think it's unfair to question the kind of legitimacy of Liverpool's squad. You talk about Szoboszlai, Núñez, Andy Robertson, Quansah. Robertson was fantastic in the final goal as well, winning the ball early and putting a big challenge in. And then Connor Bradley was fantastic last season. The strength and depth that Liverpool have off the bench is underrated as well. They're top of the table. They're banging sides. You've got someone like Darwin Núñez coming on for 20 minutes. I think he's happy to have this kind of role where he's influencing things. Obviously, he wants to be starting football matches, but he's influencing Liverpool, no question about it. He's had a good run of games recently. Salah's still getting the assists. Banging crosses in. It's unbelievable the actual quality he's got on the ball, whipping things in. And even Kelleher, just to wrap up, Kelleher made a big couple of saves to keep it a clean sheet. There's quite a few clean sheets in this Liverpool side as well. The defensive unit of Konate and Van Dijk looks very, very strong, very, very secure and regular. They know what's happening. And I think this Liverpool side looking very, very good. It's only Leverkusen. They were fantastic last season, German champions, but it's not quite Real Madrid. It's not quite Bayern Munich. It will be soon. They obviously play Liverpool and Real Madrid, and that'll be a very, very interesting game. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you very, very soon.